You know, culture, the most amazing thing about Universal Studios Hollywood is that unlike maybe Disney's Hollywood Studios over there, Universal Studios Hollywood is an actual working studio. And it is awesome and it is fantastic and I love it. And one of the best things about it is the studio tour that takes you on the back lot and you get to see amazing set pieces, you get to see amazing experiences, and for Halloween Horror Night, you also get to step off of the tram and walk through some of those amazing set pieces on the back lot. A very rare opportunity indeed. Well, at least for two people, they were like, nah, we got it. We're good. We're going to jump off right now while the tram was in motion. Folks, this is a crazy story here. Let's get right to it. From Disney dining, man jumps from Universal Hollywood attraction, runs wildly into the woods. This by Alyssa Dunn, September 21st, 2025. Something strange is happening in the theme park world, and this time it didn't involve a broken ride or character meet and greet meltdown. Over the weekend at Universal Studios Hollywood's Halloween Horror Nights, one guest took the scares a little bit too literally, leaping off the moving terror tram and vanishing into the surrounding hills. Yes, really, and before you ask, this was not part of the show. The moment was first shared by theme park content creator Dean of the Deal. I think it's Dean of the Dead official, who posted a video to TikTok that now has thousands of views. In the clip, you can clearly see the terror tram stopped mid-route, cop cars parked nearby, and sheriff lights flashing across the foggy darkness. Let's see if we can get that. Yeah, there you go. That's a little bit of the video right there. That's not what you want to see when you're on the studio tour. Believe me, that's no good right there. A far cry from the usual staged mayhem Universal is known for. I would have to agree. When Universal Halloween Horror Nights lose a guest in the woods, a quote there. Let's see. But one guest apparently decided they didn't want to wait for the designated walk portion of the tram, that being the terror tram portion of this whole experience during Halloween Horror Nights. According to guests who were on board, the individual jumped off while the tram was moving or slowing and ran into the brush near the Hollywood Hills, sending security scrambling and guests into a confused silence. Several eyewitnesses say they initially thought it was part of the event, which is known for creating realistic in-world experiences. We thought it was fake, one guest wrote in a TikTok comment, like some kind of immersive surprise twist. I was stuck way back, another said. It took almost 20 minutes just to start moving again. Ooh, that's not good. The situation escalated quickly when multiple sheriff's deputies were spotted arriving on the scene. Parkgoers reported seeing an unusually high police presence near the backlot and tram route that night, adding to the real-world tension. And some guests even speculated that local wildlife might pose a danger to the individual who ran off in the tram and into the woods. There's a mountain lion that lives in those hills, yes, and there's plenty of coyotes as well. Culture. This is a crazy, crazy story, but there is an ending here that we have to get into before I hear your comments and thoughts. Okay. I thought I had it loaded up. Well, you'll see it in the accompanying video. Culture, your thoughts initially for this story.
It's California. I know. I do a lot of short, quippy answers and a little glibness when I talk in response to these kinds of things. But somebody's like, "Oh, hey, this might be a shortcut to my car," or "Hey, I think I spotted a kitty cat." You don't know. Maybe somebody saw a raccoon and is like, "Hey, I'm gonna go grab that raccoon and domesticate it." You don't know. This is one of those weird situations in California where squirrel. I mean, it's any number of things could have inspired this person to leap off of the tram in search of adventure. Because let me tell you, that terror tram is boring.
I would say that the way to the terror tram can be a little bit, maybe not the most exciting part of the entire experience.
There's no Cylons, right? There's no, there's no Battlestar Galactica stuff. There's no Battlestar at all. And that's kind of sad.
As you can see in this footage right here, they did catch it. And
did he catch the squirrel he was after?
I don't know, but he was either a predator or prey. That mountain lion, what we call murder kitties, not good. You don't want to contend with those right there. That's a bad day. But look, the studio tour that you embark on with the tram, yes, it is an attraction in itself, and it is awesome. It's fantastic. But the areas surrounding you while you're actually making your way through the back lot, well, they're private property. So you can't exactly just leap out and just, go hog wild out there. It's not actually part of the theme park. So it's a very interesting little dynamic right there. I will say, I think I was reading some articles, doing some research for the story, and I think according to the fire department locally in the area, they were saying that there's been at least a dozen accidents surrounding the tram. We do know that I think 15 people were injured in one terrible event that happened with this tram. It kind of crashed into an embankment, sort of. Culture, I want to go ahead and ask you this question. It might be sacrilegious, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it anyway. Do you feel that Universal should maybe step away from the studio tour at Universal Studios Hollywood, or
heretic? No, of course they should. This thing was a wonderful adventure before, when they had more to offer and there was more mystery around, film and television. There just isn't. The tram is, in my opinion, and you may disagree with me, is just dangerous. They need to redesign the Jaws encounter so that it's, while still, kind of spooky and self-contained. You should be encountering the shark in a similar way, but maybe not on a vehicle. And if so, it needs to be a very tight circuit. I don't, and there it is right there. And what I really do feel, Vash, is that I think Tram is gone next year. I think this is the last year for it. So
there are markers in place right now, marking out various areas of the world set, which has a lot of people believing that this area, a significant portion of the studio tour, might be being marked for redevelopment, and it would go along with the rumors that Universal Studios Hollywood as a whole will be completely, let's say, reimagined into a resort. And does the studio tour, especially in its current incarnation, actually fit that philosophy, that mindset? It's a really, really interesting question regarding the future of Universal Studios Hollywood, because on the one hand, I see the tram and I go, it is awesome, it is fantastic, it is amazing, it is sensational. And it's one of the reasons why I go out to Universal Studios Hollywood at all. And I think it separates itself so beautifully from maybe the experience in Orlando. At the same time, though, I kind of recognize that it's a lot of room that could be redeveloped for more theme park real estate. Go ahead.
No, I think, and again, I think redevelopment is kind of the path that they're headed to already. Look, I have very fond memories of the tram tour. Again, back when things were a little bit more mysterious surrounding Hollywood. Still think the greatest thing in there isn't the earthquake that happened underground in the subway, or the backdraft references at one point in time, or of course, like I said, the Battlestar Galactica thing where there was actually Cylons battling each other in that tunnel area. I just, Universal, you can appreciate all the campiness and everything else there in Hollywood, but I think they do need to properly redirect their energy towards what they've done in Florida. So there's that.
Yeah. It's a fair point.
And it's also that terrain. It's something you and I have talked about 1,000 times. It's like escalator land, or what do you call it? Yeah, escalator land. It's like it's like you could be on those escalators for like 2 weeks. It feels like, but it's just it's and of course that's hyperbole, kids. But it's one of those things. I just feel like they just need to redevelop the hills. They need to sacrifice some of the landscape for better development. And I think it would help them in the long run. It would also give them that space they want for another hotel that they keep suggesting they still want to build. One that's actually just is park adjacent, a new one. So I don't know. What do you think, Vash? Am I crazy? I don't think so.
I don't know if you're going to get rid of the two-tiered structure of the whole place. I think there's always going to be a lower lot. There's always going to be an upper lot. That being said, though, I think they're in the process of adding a slew of attractions to the lower lot. The upper lot, I am seeing evidence of expansion and so forth. And even beyond that, I think there might be like a middle lot or something, because from what I understand, the studio tour load unload area, which, as you know, you have to take an escalator down to actually see and board and so forth, that area is going to be redeveloped as part of this whole thing as well. Yeah. So if that happens, then you're looking at vastly different topologies and so forth on each side of the park. It's always going to be a difficult place to develop. That being said, though, Universal Studios Hollywood seems to be committed to turning this into a really for real destination, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
To lose significant portions of the tram is, it's sad for me because I have so many memories and it's just such a great attraction to me. But I also understand that land is it's very valuable out there in California. Last but certainly not least, please, guests, keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the ride vehicle at all times, and don't jump out. You might get eaten by a shark.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.